The unfolding of the 2025 WTA Tour season created a tapestry of tension, brilliance, heartbreak, and triumph that captivated the tennis world from January to November. The year felt like a living organism, breathing unpredictability into every match and pulsating with a level of competition that made even the smallest winning streak feel monumental. The women who carved their stories into this season did so through resilience and relentless hunger, navigating a field packed with rising prodigies, returning contenders, and unshakable champions. The immense depth across the tour made extended periods of dominance nearly impossible, but a few remarkable athletes discovered streaks of clarity and power that lifted them above the chaos and allowed them to build impressive strings of consecutive victories. Every observer watching the season unfold could feel the shift taking place. Each tournament carried an aura of uncertainty, because every draw seemed stacked with players capable of beating anyone on any given day. The veterans fought to hold their ground, the teenagers attacked with fearlessness, and the tour as a whole erupted with a level of unpredictability that produced some of the most memorable tennis of the decade. Among the multitude of electric storylines that emerged, the longest winning streaks of the year became one of the clearest indicators of who truly mastered the storm. A compelling example of this mastery came from Elina Svitolina, who produced an 11-match streak that reminded the world why she has been considered one of the most consistent competitors of her generation. Her journey across those weeks reflected both experience and renewed fire. The Ukrainian star had spent the previous seasons enduring personal changes and professional challenges, and yet her 2025 campaign revealed the resilience that had always defined her career. Her streak began with the Billie Jean King Cup qualifiers, where she delivered two steady, composed performances to guide her nation toward a successful qualification for the finals. Those first victories lit a flame that would not be extinguished easily. That a deeper surge of confidence carried Svitolina into the indoor courts of Rouen, where she pieced together 5 polished, tactical wins that culminated in her 18th career title. Every step of that run felt like a message being delivered to the tour, a reminder that experience could still overpower youth, that grit could still outlast explosiveness, and that a steady hand under pressure remained one of the most valuable tools in tennis. Her final in Rouen, a tension-filled battle against Olga Danilovic, showcased her ability to remain calm when the score tightened. The eventual 6-4, 7-6, 8 finale revealed a competitor unafraid of the moment, but a wave of fresh momentum then carried her to the prestigious Madrid Open, where she collected 4 more victories with a style that blended patience and aggression. She delivered one of her most meaningful wins of the season during this run, when she overcame Elina, a player known for her devastating power. The accomplishment pushed her into the semifinals, where the streak finally met its end against Aryna, Sabalenka. Even though the run concluded, Svitolina's efforts secured her the highest year-end ranking she had held since 2020 and marked her return as a genuine threat at major tournaments. A parallel path of excellence was traveled by Aryna Sabalenka, whose own 11-match streak unfolded earlier in the season and carried its own sense of inevitability. The year ultimately finished with Sabalenka standing atop the WTA rankings, a testament to her unwavering intensity, explosive athleticism, and willingness to confront the biggest moments head-on. Her most impressive stretch began in Brisbane, where she embarked on a mission to claim the WTA 500 title with a string of powerful, commanding victories. The final match against Polina Kudermetova displayed both ruthlessness and precision as she imposed her full arsenal with authority, but a surge of adrenaline followed Sabalenka across the ocean to Melbourne, where her pursuit of a 3rd consecutive Australian Open title generated widespread anticipation. The pressure surrounding her run did nothing to dent her belief. The 6 matches she won at the year's first Grand Slam showcased a champion operating at the height of her powers. She defeated Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova and Paula Badosa with a blend of confidence and brutality, striking the ball with an intensity that made the stadium tremble. But her dream of extending the streak toward another victorious final chapter collapsed against Madison Keys, who managed to halt Sabalenka's charge in a gripping 3-set final that stunned the tennis world. Even though the streak ended at 11, her consistency across the year confirmed her status as the most dependable performer of the season, but a storyline even more striking unfolded through the astonishing rise of Mirra Andreeva, whose 13-match streak became a central highlight of the spring season and cemented her as one of the most promising young athletes in global tennis. The teenager entered 2025 with immense expectations, but few could have predicted the scale of her breakthrough. Her streak began in the shimmering heat of Dubai, where she embarked on a magical run that ended with her first WTA 1000 crown. She beat both Iga Swiatek and Elina Rybakina with a combination of tactical intelligence and fearless ball striking, demonstrating maturity far beyond her age. Her triumph over Clara Tauson in the final sealed her transformation from rising star to legitimate powerhouse, but a vibrant confidence followed Andreeva to Indian Wells, and the desert air seemed to fuel her ambition even further. She executed another dazzling six-win run that culminated in victories over some of the tour's heaviest hitters. Her path through Tauson, Rybakina, Svitolina, and Swiatek was not merely a sequence of wins. It was a statement from a teenager refusing to bow to reputations. Her final victory over Sabalenka sent shockwaves through the tennis community, marking one of the season's boldest upsets. Her streak extended to 13 with a strong opening round win in Miami against Veronika Kudermetova before the run came to a close in a tightly fought battle with Amanda Anisimova. Even in defeat, her presence radiated confidence and promise, but a final unforgettable run emerged from Madison Keys, who produced the longest winning streak of the 2025 season. An extraordinary 16 consecutive victories that added a historic chapter to her career. The surge began quietly in Adelaide, where Keys arrived with limited expectations following a tough quarterfinal loss in Auckland. Yet something inside her ignited the moment she stepped onto the courts in South Australia. Her unseeded status did nothing to hold her back as she built a series of increasingly confident wins, culminating in a hard-fought final triumph over Jessica Pegula, the top seed. The title served as the perfect springboard into Melbourne, a deeper magic unfurled at the Australian Open, where Keys crafted one of the most electrifying runs in recent Grand Slam memory. She defeated Rybakina, Svitolina, Swiatek, and Sabalenka in succession, a gauntlet of champions that would challenge even the strongest competitors. Each match featured emotional swings, fierce rallies, and heart-stopping momentum shifts. Yet Keys remained the steady force at the center of each moment. Her ability to match power with precision, consistency with courage, and belief with execution carried her all the way to the final, where she sealed her maiden Grand Slam title in a crescendo of celebrating tears and triumphant relief. Her return to competition at Indian Wells allowed her to extend her streak to 16 wins with a smooth charge into the semifinals. Even though her run ultimately ended against Sabalenka, the achievement stood unmatched across the entire season. Her journey symbolized the kind of rare alignment between form, confidence, health, and mentality that only a few players ever experience. Her streak did not merely elevate her career, it reshaped the perception of what she could accomplish in the years ahead. The landscape of the 2025 WTA season was shaped by these four women, who carved their streaks into the fabric of a year defined by competition and unpredictability. Their accomplishments reflected more than numbers. They represented resilience, ambition, momentum, and the electrifying rhythm of sport at its highest level. Every streak told a different story, and every story contributed to one of the most unforgettable seasons of modern women's tennis.